Let's find out what your general messages are. So your overall energy right now is green aura, teaching, learning, and healing. So I feel like for the collective I'm reading, there's several things I'm picking up on. So your aura could be green right now. But I feel like you are a teacher. I feel like you are, and I feel like the way that you show up in this world as a teacher is by learning the hard experiences and showcasing or sharing what you have learned with other people, right? I feel like you are actively healing a lot. And I feel like this phase in which you're at right now, as I mentioned before, is to help learn those, unfortunately, sometimes maybe painful lessons so that you can help other people or maybe spare other people from having to learn those harsh lessons. Or maybe they are meant to learn those lessons, but you can give them tools and tips on how to navigate their journey. So, yes, you're a teacher, you are teaching people, they're learning from you how to heal because you're a champion at healing. The first card was ending a cycle, lessons learned. What was I telling you about lessons and a fresh start? That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of lessons that you have learned in this phase of your life. You've been transforming, coming out as this butterfly as well too, ready to fly and spread your wings. I feel like spirit is very proud of you. Like spirit is letting you go now. Like you're finally coming out of this cocoon phase and finally busting out. Because like I said, there was a lot of lessons that you had to learn, but we're going to clarify this. It's so interesting because two cards fell out. You got the 10 of candles, which is the 10 of wands, and the ace of potions, which is the ace of cups. So that's sort of, it's so you're literally in between ending a cycle and the start of a new beginning, which makes sense why it's like fresh start. You're literally in between, and that's been your challenge, right? Which is this 10 of wands, letting go of the burdens, letting go of the heavy weight, letting go of maybe certain karmic debts that you were carrying around. There was a lot of stuff that you were carrying that was not meant for you to carry. Maybe you had a harder time letting go of things, maybe forgiving, maybe moving on, maybe processing your emotions, your feelings. Maybe there was also extra responsibilities that you were taking on that was not meant for yours to take on. There was just a lot of baggage. It kind of gives me like that Erica Badu song, like Bag Lady. You had to let the bags go, or they were going to slow you down, or they were going to weigh you down. And I feel like I've been speaking to people where that's all spirit has ever wanted from you, was to let go of the baggage, to let go. And I feel like that's what you have been in the process of doing. It's crazy that there's also another butterfly here as well too. But that's what's happening is out of this, it kind of reminds me of the lotus, where you know how lotus flowers grow like in the mud and like ugly conditions. That's what it feels like. Even though you were subjected to some, maybe for some of you guys, some harsh conditions, something beautiful grew out of it, right? And I feel like that's what spirit wants you to do, is to be this beautiful light in this world, to shine your light, right? Because it feels like almost like the darkness or dark people or negative people or just I feel like that's what it was by design. I think the negative forces wanted you to feel broken down in this world so that you wouldn't be this light warrior, so that you wouldn't be this angel, earth angel, whatever whatever terms you subscribe to, or maybe you don't subscribe to any terms. But I feel like you're a force in this world. There's a lot of light within you, a lot of light in your heart. And that's what it almost felt like, especially like the download that I'm getting was that almost wanting to turn your heart cold. Um, I haven't watched Care Bears, but I know that that's a thing that happened in Care Bears, where cold hearted, and I think that's what it is. Where I think you had a lot of negative people or negative experiences that could have made you cold hearted, and that's what it was almost like you've been doing, is shedding the hard exterior that was created because of these negative experiences, and now you're finally releasing yourself and releasing this lighter, happier, bubbly version. And maybe not even bubbly, because maybe not everyone's bubbly, but this lighter version of yourself into the world. You're giving yourself that fresh start. And it's interesting because this card fell on the reverse. So it was like private gifts. Use your gifts only for yourself. And I don't feel like you're meant to do that. Because, like I said, it fell in the reverse. I feel like you're meant to showcase your gifts to other people. And oh, wow, I didn't even realize this. Two cards fell out. I thought it was just one. So you had the Page of Candles, so the Page of Wands, and the Justice card. And I feel like that's what you're about to start doing, right? I think some you guys may not know where to start, but you have that passion and that desire to showcase your gifts. And maybe for some of you guys, it's about maybe you're meant to deliver speeches. Maybe you're meant to change some policies in this world. Maybe you're meant to advocate on people's behalf. Maybe you're meant to teach because he's at a podium. Maybe you want to get involved in politics. Maybe you want to host seminars, host groups because there's a crowd here. I feel you guys are meant to speak about the knowledge that you have learned firsthand because of what you've experienced. Maybe it's not even doing it like maybe you could have a podcast, maybe you could record videos like how I'm doing. Whatever it is, I feel like you're meant to vocalize what you have been through. You're meant to showcase your gifts. There's something about the power of communication as well, but also I feel like with the Page of Wands, like there's some fire within you, right? So I feel like spirit is like allow your optimistic self, because the people I'm speaking to, you are in an optimistic state or you're getting there. Allow your optimism to carry you forward and to give yourself that justice and give that. And I feel like that's what it is, where justice is very important for you in this world. And know that, like, it's don't take on the burden, the responsibility that have to change this world by yourself. No, you are a piece in the puzzle of shifting this world for the better, right? Of maybe creating world peace or harmony or justice for all, right? And it's not just about you doing your part, not overworking yourself, not overburdening yourself, but doing your part, right? And maybe correcting the imbalances within this world, right? So I think this is beautiful. I feel like I'm speaking to people where you are a powerful leader. Okay, let's get into heart chakra. Talks about love, forgiveness, compassion, and I think that's one of your lessons in this world, right? Because the strength card came out, but it came out in the reverse, right? And I think that's something that you're still working through, right? Is to find that compassion maybe for people who have maybe wronged you, or maybe not even if you want to find compassion for them, just finding that forgiveness to move on. And that's what I think is the biggest lesson is forgiveness is for yourself. It's not for somebody else. It does not mean that it's okay what somebody did to you. So I want you to hear that. Does not mean that it's okay what somebody did to you, but it's just about accepting that, yes, even though I didn't deserve what happened to me, I'm not going to let this define me. I'm not going to let this define my life. I'm not going to let this be the story as to what made me cold hearted, what made me bitter, what made me resentful, what made put me into despair. I'm not going to allow that to happen. So I feel like you're actively working on loving yourself unconditionally by moving on, by forgiving, by finding that compassion, if not for anybody else, but just for yourself. And I see, like I said, that's something that you're working on is letting go of the pain associated with being wronged, letting go of maybe whatever resentments or bitterness that you had, and be patient with yourself. I feel like the biggest thing that I'm getting with the strength card in reverse and the heart chakra is it's okay to surrender. It's okay to, because I feel like I'm speaking to a lot of people where you have such a big heart and such a soft heart. And I think you would use holding on to grudges or resentment or bitterness or pain as like an armor. And you don't need to have that be your armor anymore because it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Oh my God. Also, just know anybody who had a black aura, and I feel like this is describing the people who have done you wrong in life, definitely have black auras. It talks about exhausted, burnt out, negativity. This is the negativity that I was talking about. Just know that their days are number two, because when I clarify that, I got judgment. And that's where it is, where even though you may feel like this person didn't get their karma or their just desserts, no, the universe always keeps the original receipts. The universe always is watching to see who is doing what in this world. And there's consequences for every action. So even though you may feel like this person is living their best life, trust and believe everybody faces judgment. Judgment day is coming for them if it hasn't already came for them. And if you thought that these people had, black auras before and was experiencing negativity, they're about to be in a world of hurt because, like I said, judgment is being passed upon them. I think that was also necessary for you to, in order for these people to experience their karma, you had to let go and you had to forgive and you had to move on and let go of that cycle. So hopefully this resonates. If it does, comment down below.